Welcome back to the Madden 06 Rebrand featuring the Norfolk Defenders, and for the second time in as many weeks we are playing the Pennsylvania Liberty, this time on the road. I forgot to look at the team matchup last time, but there's a look. We are 4th in points per game, which is kind of surprising considering that we're just below that 20 mark, but the turnover differential is what's kept us in ball games along with our defense. As you get a look at Pennsylvania, they are 3rd to last in the league in the turnover differential. Otherwise, their offense and defense is a little bit below average, not quite middle of the pack in the league. Last time we did play the Liberty, we basically just held on in time with a 10-point fourth quarter lead. We had ample opportunities in overtime. We missed one kick, got the ball back for a second kick, and were able to win the game with a lot of help and a lot of lucky play, I suppose. But they are 6 games behind us. This is a must-win to stay pace in the division. And also, I think if we reach the 10-win mark, that will pretty much get us into the playoffs. I mean, we'd like to get the division win and a first-round bye, but based on how the teams have performed, a lot of them are around that 500 marker. So I think getting above and being like a 10-6 team would be enough to make the playoffs if that were the case. We lose the toss. The Liberty are going to receive, and I forget if this is a dome stadium. It looks like, I mean, based on what I can see there, it is domed somewhat, but there is still 3 or 4 mile-an-hour winds. And there is a look at the standings. The Dynamo won their 7th game in a row, so we do indeed need a win to keep pace of the division. That second to last week matchup with the Dynamo is looking like it's going to decide a lot in terms of the playoff race. So from what I can recall with the Liberty game, they run it a decent amount to right, but a lot of their offense is kind of based on the passing game, as you see them do some play action here on first down. Bonds somehow jumps over Coombs and makes the catch. Coombs was right there. That's exactly the kind of stuff that's killed us in the past, is they go for that deep ball, and even though we have like 2 deep safeties, they're just not there. They're not aware enough to join the cornerback on coverage back in that direction. And now the Liberty are in the red zone. As you take a look there, 11 yards on that last play, 52-yard passing play to start off the game. They've already gone 60 yards in 2 plays, and now they can kind of afford to do some short yardage situations here as you get the little stutter there. Bonds again with the difficult reach over catch, and this one gets him down to the inch-yard line. I would be very shocked if the Liberty aren't able to punch it in from here, and our defense starting off this game pretty rough. Wright gets knocked down at the 2, so they do lose a little bit of yardage here on 1st and goal. Looks like they're going with the goal line formation, so I'm going to go ahead and send a blitz. Run is likely coming here, but Pennsylvania took 3 quarters last match to score 7 points. I'd be, again, shocked if we keep them out of the end zone here and force a 3-point try. Oh, they go with the toss play. A nice play call. We were not ready for that, and we sent the blitz right up the guts. They toss it out to the side, and that is a touchdown. It only took 1 minute and 17 seconds, but Pennsylvania is already on the board with a touchdown, and it's going to be up to our offense to show a lot more fight than they have the last couple weeks. Last week, we did not get a single offensive point. We did forego a field goal opportunity, but we were not even close to the end zone a lot of times, so we need a little bit more help here. I'm hoping for Michaels to have a recreation of his Seattle Steamers game when he ran for over 200 yards. And there's a good carry to start us off. Gets us about 7 yards on the halfback blast. I was thinking about doing a toss play of my own, but since it's a short yardage situation, I'm just going to go ahead and go with a little bit more up the middle. No blocking help there for Michaels as he loses a yard. So 3rd and 4, I think we're going to have to try and throw here. Really stink to let up that touchdown to the Liberty to start off and then go 3 and out right afterwards. But Michaels is not going to be guarded. They drop back into zone coverage, and we get the first down on the slants play call. Madden recommended a toss play, so we're going to try it here on 1st and 10. Corners are coming into the middle of the field here. Just don't really have much acceleration out to the right, so I don't feel like we would have gotten a gain at all if we didn't cut it back inside. Michaels is only able to get 2. Go with some curls here on 2nd and 8. Hopefully we can find somebody open for close to first down yardage. Minter being the... oh, goodness. I guess I threw it a little bit before he did the button hook anyway, but Middle linebacker was right in position. I missed him, and that's a turnover as we got close to midfield. Now the Liberty have a short field to try and add to their lead. They are going to begin with a pass play to start off. That one was in the hands of the receiver, but knocked loose as there were 4 Norfolk players there, so 2nd down and 10. I'm going to go with a 5-man blitz here, send Vargas on the inside. They're doing a 3 wide receiver set. Probably going to guard Swan, even though Wright is in the backfield, is supposed to be our man. Somehow the hit stick does not connect. Again, I just need to make the easy tackles in some of those situations, but I thought I had him lined up like really well. And now the Liberty are inside the 30-yard line, getting close to the pretty easy field goal, I suppose. 42 is pretty consistently hit by the computer from this range. They go with the toss play on 1st down. And tried to cut it back inside, but like still lost a few yards on that play. He like kind of cut back to where the quarterback originally tossed out the ball. And that could be the break we need in terms of holding them from here on out. They might miss the field goal from this position. Kent's with the tackle. He doesn't get any gain on that one. So again, actually he lost a couple yards. So 3rd and 15. I guess I'd be okay giving up the field goal on the turnover. I mean, I don't want to give up any points at all, but I would be really irate if we let up this 3rd and 15 opportunity here. They're going to go with some butt hooks. Kent's nearly sacked the quarterback, but it falls incomplete. That would have definitely pushed him out of field goal range. The wind is going a little bit behind them and off to the side, so this 48-yard field goal is no easy task for the Liberty. Just barely sneaks inside the left upright. The wind was pushing a little bit to the right, so that helped guide him a little bit. And the Liberty with an early 10-point lead as we get near the 1.5-minute mark of the first quarter. Lamont will take this one from the 10-yard line. Doesn't really have any blockers. And gets stopped short of the 30-yard line. I know it's still early in the ball game, but I guess now would be better than any time to try and get the pass game going. I know Carey threw an interception on the last one, but we need our pass game to start doing some work at some point. Tried to go with the spin move to Minter, but he gets tackled at the 45. Still a 1st down gain on 1st and 10. Gonna go with the counter play with 3 blockers out to the left, 3 tight ends, and that was just, we had 1 blocker and there were like 3 defenders. No matter who we went for, we were probably going to be stopped on that one. So 2nd down and 10, no gain. Pennsylvania drops back into coverage or the zone again, and they leave Michaels unattended for the 1st down yardage. We're inside the, well, close to the 40. Try a play action here on 1st and 10 as we get close to the 30-second mark here in the first quarter. Pennsylvania is trending out to the left here. I'm actually going to audible to a run play, although they shifted up their defensive coverage here. Michaels had a little bit of a hole to the left. Doesn't get much, though, as the defender was able to shed his blocker. A gain of 2. And we'll likely have one more play here in the first quarter. We're just going to try some whip unders here. Get some short yardage on the pass. Strong safeties coming in. That route was supposed to be like a 5-yard, you know, like to the sideline, but Carey airs it out like 10 or 15 yards down the field and it gets picked off. And again, the Liberty, who have one of the worst turnover differentials in the league, have already forced 2 interceptions so far. And they will start off the second quarter with the ball here, going with the trips formation over to the left. Connor nearly stole that one back, but drops it. 2nd down and 10. I mean, the Liberty are definitely going for the jugular. They have nothing to lose with the 3-9 record. They're going way down the field with their passes, and the few runs they've had were pretty successful. That one gets them a gain of 6, which is one of their shortest yardage situations of the ball game so far. 3rd down and 4. They're going with a 3 tight end group, couple runners in the backfield. This will likely be a handoff. No, they're going to actually do some play action out to the tight end. That one's a deep ball that's a little bit too deep for the tight end, and there goes Cleveland up the right sideline. And the quarterback gets the tackle around the 25. Nearly got him with the face mask too, but thankfully we get the turnover right back, and now we're inside of the Liberty's 30. Yeah, I mean, that ball was just way too deep for their tight end. One of their backup tight ends, I would imagine too. He was just really slow getting there, and we had a couple defenders there to make the play, or at least defense the ball. Michaels gets to the 20-yard line. Try some play action here on 2nd and 3. We have Minter going towards the end zone. Not too much room with the safety there, but we'll see if the safety drops back. He does. Going way across the field to Abbott. It's a little bit high for him. Not the greatest pass decision, but everybody to the right was being covered, and you know, I just really roll out to the right sometimes and try and run with carry or force a throw that's not there. So the fact that we were able to just have an opportunity to even catch the ball was pretty good, all things considered. 3rd and 3, we're going to go with Page or Michaels on this one, more than likely. And they had a guy over there who was eyeing Michaels but didn't attack. And Michaels is able to make the catch, get out to the 5-yard line. We've had 3 of those plays so far where they just drop back into zone and leave him alone. He's been able to get like 10 or 15 yards on each of those. As you get a look there, 3 catches for 36 yards, averaging about 12 yards a catch. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 5. Tries to break it out to the left, but the cornerback was able to get away from the wide receiver, and that is a gain of only 1. There's the offensive production to this point. I mean, we do have 68 yards, but again, most of them are to Michaels. About half of that on passing plays. Now we have him across the middle. Can you get past the linebacker there? Oh, Carey nearly let him into the end zone, but he gets stopped a few inches short. You get a look there, 3rd and goal from the inch-yard line. I'm just going to try and QB sneak this one in with Carey. Carey's 5 for 8, but his 2 of his 3 incompletions have been picked off. One of them was totally my fault with that middle linebacker across the middle, but the other one I just don't know what he was doing. He's able to sneak it in for a touchdown, and we get our first offensive touchdown in quite some time, at least 5 quarters, since we did not score one last game. Mansfield extra point attempt with 100% accuracy is straight down the middle, so we're able to capitalize on the turnover back from when we turned the ball over, and we're able to turn it into a touchdown. Liberty's lead is down to 3. They have a little bit over half the quarter to try and extend their lead, but we do get the ball at halftime, which will be huge. We'll see the route they want to go here, though. If they want to pass the ball or if they want to keep it on the ground. A couple receivers out to the right. They have a fullback and running back in the backfield. Nothing really open. And our pass rush didn't really get there right away, so he had ample time to throw it to the tight end. I was still strafing with Vargas and eventually found a hole. We were able to catch up. The throw was a bit high anyhow. 2nd and 10, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends for the Liberty. And they're sending one of them over to the right, stacking the right side. We'll see if the run takes them over there. And they're actually going to do some more button hooks. It's one of the dangers of playing man coverage, I suppose, as much as I do, is if you get that button hook kind of thing going, the zone's better there to protect it. The man coverage, you know, you just are trying to prevent the deep ball, I suppose, more than anything. So a good 1st down call there by the Liberty. Wright shoves some blockers over and is across the 50 for the 1st down. Like I said, their run game's doing some numbers. I'm a little shocked that they're not doing it a little bit more, if anything. Sending a blitz here. We've got, oh, they're going to the screen. Hits off the thigh area of one of our linebackers and falls incomplete. We had one of those result in a fumble a game or 2 ago, if I can remember correctly, and that was huge. But not quite this time. So we're about halfway through the 2nd quarter, 2nd down and 10. Liberty going to pass again. This one to the sideline. I thought they had their man open across the middle with that little stutter move. But they decided to go out to the right where they had single coverage. Did not work. And it's a big 3rd and 10 from around midfield. Going to go with a cover 2 formation here. We have the dime package, so we have a little extra speed out there. They have 2 tight ends on this one. I doubt they're going to run the ball with the 2 tight ends. Again, they're sending their tight end over to the right for the double stack. Was a pass play last time. This time they tried again. They only have 2 receivers going out, though, and Connor reads that one pretty well. He tries to cut it out to the left, but runs into his own teammates. Williams with the face mask, though, is going to put us across midfield. Connor actually injured his hip on that one, and we'll see if he's able to recover before the end of the game. We haven't really been bitten by the injury bug too much this year. Pretty much everybody who's been injured comes back, usually by the end of the game. But here we are at midfield. Got a little bit of time before the 2-minute warning, and we can at the very least try and make an effort to tie the ball game up. Michaels is able to run that one up the middle for a 1st down, gets out to the 33. Yeah, going back to that interception, the Liberty on a 3rd and 10 decided to only run 2 receivers out on routes, and we were just able to pick one of the 2 with some coverage. Connor was able to jump the route for the interception. I think he has some of the most interceptions on our team at this point, just since we control him a decent amount. I think we've gotten at least 3 or 4 with them, with the user picks alone. Gonna try a sweep out to the left with Michaels. Kozlowski holds the line. Could have been blown up in the backfield and pushed us back in decent ways, but Michaels is able to get down the middle for a gain of about 4. Connor is returning. Again, injury bug. Been pretty fortunate this year. We've been able to keep most of our players in the game. They just come back a short time later. Liberty faking the blitz. They do send one guy out. Carey is going to, almost said Connors. Carey's just going to run that one out for a gain of 3. And now a big 3rd and 3 upcoming. Try the short slants here again. Ideally, what we'd want is to run down the clock as much as possible and get in the end zone. We're 3 for 3 on 3rd down so far, but if we get stopped here with a gain of nothing, this should be doable field goal range for Mansfield. They are going to cover Michaels to some extent. Carey had him streaking towards the end zone, but throws it out of bounds. Might not have been set when I threw that. Linebacker had a decision. He could either let Michaels go, which could have been very dangerous, or he could have let Carey run and get the first down by covering Michaels. Ultimately, an incomplete pass out of bounds, and Mansfield from 43 with the wind going a little bit against him. 96 power. That one's got enough room, and it's good. So with a minute and a half, we are back tied at 10. And the Liberty will have one more chance before the half to retake the lead. So not a great start for the defenders, but we were able to force a few turnovers, get back into this ball game. Differential is back at 0. We've thrown 2 picks. They've thrown 2 picks. But yeah, a lot of decently good yardage plays here by the Liberty so far. Our defense needs to perform a little bit better since we can't rely on the turnovers like all the time. Oh, that one's batted by the defender to his teammate, and Burton is going to get tackled around the 10-yard line. I need to get another look at that replay. First of all, where the heck was that throw going? I don't know if the quarterback was pressured. No, he was not. He tried to throw this one out to the right, I suppose, to his man going over the sideline, but not a great decision anyway. We got 4 Norfolk players right there, and the ball is swatted down. Our other guy comes in and catches it, and is able to get a good return inside the 10, so we have a 1st and goal. At the very least, a good chance to take the lead. I hope that we don't fudge up a field goal from here, but let's run some clock, hopefully get in the end zone. Draw play on 1st down. Michaels breaks the tackle. Oh, he fumbled the football. McCaffrey, one of the offensive linemen, picks it up, and that's a touchdown. Michaels had an initial good move here with the middle linebacker that I didn't even perform. Then he got shoved over pretty hard, lost the football. Our offensive lineman, thankfully, is there to scoop in the touchdown, and that's not a touchdown that you see very often, or a player that you see score a touchdown very often. First play after the turnover, we put some points on the board, and now we're up by 7. This will be 17 unanswered points with the extra point. 50 accuracy. Yeah, I nearly messed that up, but we got it. Minute 10 to go for Pennsylvania. Thrown 3 interceptions now, and that last one took some acrobatics to perform. Usually once the computer reaches like the 25-30 yard line late in the half, they decide to pass a little bit more, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Liberty still try and air it out even with the 3 interceptions so far to try and get something before the half. I mean, they'd hate to go into the half down by a score. Ooh, that one was in and out of the hands of the receiver, I think. So the defense, while they let up a lot of yardage to begin the game, has been ball hawking recently. Oh, I read that route with the middle linebacker. I had no business being out there, but still able to make the catch, and that's a big play for the Liberty. They called a timeout. They're over the 50-yard line and pretty close to scoring range. That big play, though, like I said, those big plays seem to get us. It's like chunk of like 20 yards or something like that. Oh, they had a couple guys going out to the sideline to the left. The pressure ultimately got to him. So 2nd and 15, the Liberty call another timeout. I'd say another good 10, maybe 15 yards away from actually getting close to field goal range. So they need a significant chunk of yards here in the next 50 seconds if they want to put some points on the board. And another sack. We decided to go with the man-to-man coverage, and our guy was pretty easy. Just went out to the right for like a 3 or 4 yard route. Nothing doing there. The rest of the defense on the computer side was able to perform. And Reed nearly picks that one off and takes it the other way a decent amount, but instead falls off his hands. It'll be incomplete. The Liberty do get one big play on the drive, but are unable to capitalize once they get across midfield. They will punt the ball, and I'm just going to go ahead and run out the half. Actually, just going to let this one bounce with Lamont. Rolls out of bounds around the 12-yard line. I'll try one halfback counter play, just see if Michaels breaks something, but, you know, at this point, just 1 or 2 running plays, and we're to the half. Yeah, nothing there. Liberty are not going to call a timeout, so I'm going to let the half run out from here. 17 unanswered points for the defenders, and we get the ball at halftime. Defense has been doing some work again after a rough first possession or two, but we are back on the plus side with the turnover differential. We're at +1 now, even though we gave up a couple turnovers, and that's been the huge Achilles heel for the Liberty based on their season history so far. Yeah, we are in a dome stadium. Why the heck is it so windy? Why? Oh, I don't get it. Get a look there at the halftime stats. We have more passing yards than rushing yards, which doesn't happen a whole lot. Again, a lot of it's to Michaels, but I'd still like to get the passing game going this game, even though I'd like to protect the lead. Lamont just keeps putting the football on the ground, and for the second time, we're able to scoop the ball up and keep possession. I don't know how many times we've come out of halftime and we received the ball and Lamont's like put it on the ground. I think that's at least like 2 or 3 times or something like that. Kozlowski runs past 2 defenders, and Michaels gets nothing there. 2nd and 11. I suppose now would be a good time to pass the ball, try out a little bit more air out strategy. Got Brown coming across for the short yardage dump off if we need it. Actually, Michaels is pretty wide open. Gets us about 6 or 7 yards, so it'll still be like a 3rd and 5. That one I was a little bit unsure because, like, Michaels, there's this defensive end that came way around to the side, and once he started rushing the quarterback, I was like, all right, now Michaels is open. He can't make a play. Got Michaels covered on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and I keep diving when I mean to slide, but keeps the football. That time they covered Michaels to a T with the man coverage instead of just dropping into zone, so we'll take that on the quarterback short yardage situation. Michaels gets about 4 yards on the toss play. So we're at about midfield. Kerry's got a little bit of wheels on him, all things considered. Not the fastest scrambling quarterback, but he can make some plays, I suppose. Ooh, I meant to throw that one to Minter. I got hit as I threw, and our other guy going across the middle was able to make a slight diving catch. Just got that over the linebacker there. I don't know why the heck I wanted to go deep anyway. I think it was into double coverage, but I needed to make a throw. They're stacking the box here. I'm going to try the play action, send Nelson across. Hopefully, quick play action. They do drop back into coverage. My analog stick broke. Oh no. I tried to do the vision cone, but like it was not going. It just stayed in place. I don't know if the stick broke or if it just happened to not work for a play. Thankfully, Kerry was able to scramble and get a couple yards instead of having to throw it out of bounds. We'll see if the stick gets stuck again on this play. No, it's working. Ooh. I was on the run throwing that. Page cut back across the middle. Kerry wasn't able to connect, so 3rd and 8. We need at least a few yards here to get into kicking range. 4 for 5 on 3rd down so far, and the one that we missed turned into 3 points on the board anyhow, so our conversion's not bad so far. Linebacker's a little bit late getting over to Michaels, tries the spin move, somehow kind of glitches into the linebacker where no play was made and falls forward for the 1st down. Let's get a look here at the replay. They just kind of stopped. Like, they ran into each other and just kind of stopped on this little spin move. And the guy was backwards, couldn't do anything. All right, I mean, I would have taken the field goal if the animations worked correctly, but we've got a fresh set of downs from the 25, about halfway through the 3rd quarter at this point. Now Williams, the ball carrier in the full house formation, takes it across the 20. Good solid run on 1st down. It's going to be a 2nd and 5. Now Jones is the ball carrier, giving Michaels a break. Got Abbott and Kozlowski as his lead blockers out to the left. Not much of a hole, but Jones is still able to pick up a gain of a few. So 3rd and 2, I'm going to try and still keep this on the ground. Which play do I want to do here? I was thinking about the draw play, but we're just going to go with the halfback dive. Jones is still in the ball game. And even if we don't get the first down, this should be an easy kick to put us ahead by a couple possessions. Jones lowers his head, trucks across the line of scrimmage for a first down. It won't be a 1st and goal quite yet. We're at the 11-yard line. Now we'll try that draw play on 1st and 10. We've got Michaels back in the backfield. Free safety coming in and the strong safety. See if they drop back into zone or if they actually blitz. The free safety definitely blitz. Michaels, not much there, gets a yard. I'm going to try this play action play one more time. See if we can get Abbott alone out to the end zone. As there goes the strong safety. Do have Minter over the right. He doesn't make the catch. He would have been tackled short of the end zone, but a big missed opportunity there. Want to protect the ball here even if we don't get the first down, so be happy just tossing this one out to the sideline. Michaels, again, not defended. It's not going to get the first down and is a few yards away, but this should be a chip shot field goal, and we ran a significant chunk of clock on this drive. Chance for 20 unanswered points since the first quarter. 74 accuracy should be enough to do the trick. Kick is good, and we have double the points that the Liberty have now, a score of 20-10 as the 3rd quarter is starting to run out. Get a look there at that drive. We took the entire quarter almost. Good, solid offensive drive. It only results in a field goal, but like that's one of our longest drives of the season. Did not stall out. And like I said, we were just playing it safe a little bit. We didn't need to force anything to the end zone and risk a turnover like we did in the first couple quarters. A couple receivers out to the left. They're going to go with the misdirection out to the right. And not much of a gain there, a couple yards. I suppose the Liberty can run the ball a little bit more before they're going to start having to attack using the pass game again. Their quarterback has made a few inaccurate throws, a few head-scratching decisions, I suppose. A little bit of a soft lob out to the right. I was not there with Connor. I was able to catch up, I suppose. Nearly got to the ball and picked it off as he got a lock there at Richardson's stats. He's like Carey, just a few more interceptions than touchdowns so far this season. Big 3rd and 8 as we near the end of the 3rd quarter. And Richardson, for the 3rd or 4th time this game, is going to get sacked. Our defensive line, I don't know if they're just brushing past the offensive line a little bit better than most games, or if Richardson, the quarterback's just holding on to the ball a bit too long. But that is a big 3rd down stop as the Liberty are going to punt the ball away here. To end the quarter, Lamont will receive this one just between the 35 and the 40-yard line. And we have an opportunity here to, again, hold on to a 10-point lead against the Liberty, similar to the last time we played them. Let's try and efficiently run some clock here. Maybe if we don't get anything on first down, we'll try the pass. But like I said, running's our best option most of the time, and we can afford to run some clock. Not much there for Michaels. Somehow fumbles the football. I thought he was already down, but again, offensive line's able to jump on it. They don't score a touchdown this time, I suppose, but a gain of 2. There is the time of possession with that last drive. We have more than doubled the Liberty. We're at exactly 10 minutes with a full quarter to go still. Liberty bring the blitz on the drop play once again. Nothing there for Michaels. Try some button hooks here on 3rd down. It's worked a few times for the Liberty. Get us some first down yardage. Otherwise, we have Abbott, and then the backs going out to the side. Ooh, they sent the blitz. I thought that guy was going to go over and get Michaels, but Carey's able to hang on to the football. Nothing doing. No turnover. We can punt the ball away. Wasted about a minute on that drive, which is a big minute for the Liberty. This ball's booted to about the 20-yard line, and it's going to be a fair catch, so the Liberty will have to make some significant progress on this drive. They haven't scored since the first quarter, and although they haven't really turned the ball over much since then, their offense has just been kind of stagnant. Our defense has recovered, aside from a few occasional big plays. Wrights with the handoff there gets a gain of about 4. 3 wide receivers set here now for the Liberty. Ooh, I had the right idea with Connor, but that one is over his head, and the first down is made by Pennsylvania. Nice bullet throw there by the quarterback, one of his better throws of the day. Was able to thread the needle, so to speak, pretty well. Connor again tries to go for the hit stick. I thought I had him lined up, but does not. Really need to be more careful with that in these late game situations. Don't want to let up a end zone run of any sort, I suppose. Liberty are about at midfield now. Just over 3 minutes to go in the game. That one's thrown into double coverage and unexpectedly is caught by the Liberty. That one looked like a definite no-no in terms of a throw. Nearly a turnover being thrown into double coverage. Now the Liberty with a 5 wide receiver set. Bonds makes the catch on that one, but has to come back across the first down marker, so only gains 7, but is able to make the catch away from Combs. Trips formation out to the left again. Running back drops into coverage, so I'm just going to cover somebody else with Connor. That throw is incomplete. 3rd and 3 from the 32. Liberty have not made a 3rd down conversion as of yet. If they miss this one, it's going to be close to a 50-yard field goal, which they made a 48-yarder earlier. Richardson gets sacked again. Just held onto the ball a little bit long again. They're going to try for the field goal from 54 yards, 55 even, with the wind going a bit against them to the side. Again, he made from 48 just barely. And while he's in the center of the field for this one, we'll see if he has enough leg. He does not. No good. The Liberty turned the ball over close to midfield. Minute and a half off the clock, and we can run a little bit more here with Michaels. I think they're going to let this one run down to the 2-minute warning if we run this play, and then from there on out use their timeouts. Gain of about 3 or 4 on that one. We're just going to let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning unless the Liberty have something to say about it up to that point. 2nd and 6, first down here wouldn't end the ball game, but it would significantly run down the clock on the Liberty. There's like nobody out to the right. Michaels is just going to take the handoff. Does indeed get the first down. There is the first timeout for the Liberty. They might have had to use it due to the injury. Probably would have used it anyway. But now we're out to the 42. I might just play it safe and go with the goal line formation. I don't want to start kneeling yet. But, you know, just as much blocking as we can get. Get a few yards. Nothing really there. Another timeout by Pennsylvania. They have one more timeout remaining, which means we can run this down to about a minute left on the clock if we don't get the first down. It's going to be incredibly hard. Oh, there goes Michaels out to the left. Stay in bounds, fella. He's inside the 20. Liberty are not going to use their timeout. This one's pretty much over from here now. That was our biggest run of the game, and it came in the goal line formation near midfield. Unexpected, but a big hole opened up to the left. Here's Michaels again. Gets tripped up around the 15. I went away from my goal line formation, so I'm going to go back to that. Halfback sting is what worked last time, and we're going to try that again here on 2nd down once the clock runs out a little bit longer. Here's the snap to Michaels. This one does not work out like the last one. Pennsylvania's going to call their last timeout. And Madden says to kneel it. Might as well. This will bring the clock down to close to 20 seconds, and then we'll be able to put a field goal on the board. Not very likely we get the first down again on the goal line run, or the goal line formation run of any sort, I suppose. So there's carry, 4th down. Even if the Liberty were to somehow block this and return it for a touchdown, I don't think they'd be able to score again with, well, however long it takes them to run down the field, but clock will be brought down to about 20 seconds. 10 on the play clock. I'm going to snap this when it gets down to about 5. And that one is good. 20 seconds remaining. 23 unanswered points for the defenders. Ran about 2 minutes off the clock on that one after the failed missed field goal attempt by the Liberty. And they're just going to have to do some Hail Marys here as they get the ball on the return. Not much else they can really try. So we're just going to go straight to the prevent defense. 4 wide receiver set for the Liberty. That usually means that they have the Hail Mary coming. Even if their quarterback's able to make the completion down the field, I don't think they're going to go about 80 yards for a touchdown all in one play. Might even get sacked again, who knows. Hawks this one up to about the 35. That's incomplete. Maybe a couple more tries here for the Liberty as they try and get something going, but again, they're down by 2 scores. Even if they catch it and run the distance of the field, this one should be over with the 8 seconds remaining. Go as far back as we can with Connor. Nearly picked off again by Reed, and the Liberty will have one more opportunity here with 2 seconds. Here's the last hurrah by the Liberty. We'll see how far Richardson can get it this time. Incomplete, 3 straight incompletions on the Hail Mary attempts. And there you go, there's your ball game. The Defenders win 23-10. And they were able to hold on in the fourth quarter this time around. No overtime, risky business, or missed field goals or anything like that. A little bit more of a solid win. Again, our defense kind of bailed us out with some turnover opportunities. But after the first quarter, the Liberty could just not get anything going. Our defense was able to lock up from there. Our offense, while they didn't get into the end zone a ton, were able to drive down the field pretty significantly, which is something that's been lacking this season. And your Norfolk Defenders win their 10th game of the season. I saw earlier that the Dynamo also won, so we are still tied for the division lead. One more game before we actually face the Dynamo in Week 16. Get a look here at some stats. Total offense, we beat the Liberty by 1 yard, 105 rushing yards, 83 passing. I mean, it's been about par for the course with the passing yards. We've been averaging about 100 per game, half of those to Michaels. Carey ended up being 9 for 15 on pass attempts, with 2 of those being interceptions. Michaels, after that long run, gets up to about 83 yards. He had about like 55, 60 up to that point. And he also had 58 yards receiving on 7 catches, so close to 130 total yards, if I'm doing my math correctly. Not bad. Defense was on lock. We had Haley, one of our best rated players, with 2 sacks out of the couple that we got. There is your player of the game, Isaac Cleveland. 1 interception, and I think he made the defense play for the other interception. Michaels also had a great game, but he usually gets player of the game anyhow, a lot of the time. We'll sim the rest of the week, including the Crocs game. We'll see if they win and keep pace with us in the division. Even if they do win, they're a couple games behind. Wow, they actually lost in overtime to the Lions, and that will bridge the gap a little bit longer with the top 3 teams and the rest of the pack for the playoff race. As I mentioned earlier, I think 10 wins is enough for us to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of, can we win the division and also get a first round bye? There's your look at the NFC Conference. There's 2 teams at 10 wins, and they both happen to be in the same division. Only one of them is going to get the first round bye. The Dakota Buzz finally lost a game. They're still 7-0 at home, so they've got some home stuff cooking right now. Get a look at the rest of the playoff picture. You have 5 teams with 8 wins or more, a ton of teams that are 7-6 or 6-7. So the worst we could finish is 10-6, which is ahead of, well, I guess there's 8 teams that could potentially only have 6 losses or less. So yeah, things are looking pretty good for the playoff race. Let's take a look at the AFC. The Marshalls and the Sea Monsters are 8-5, lead the AFC conference. So we just happen to play against one of the best teams in the league that's not us in the same division. How about that? So we have one more game before we reach the Dynamo, and that is the Los Angeles Lions, who just beat Cape Coral in overtime in the last week. Let's get a look at the matchup here. The Lions don't score very many points, but their defense is pretty good, and their offense is not quite as good as their defense, but still top 12 teams. Look at that, though. They have the worst turnover differential in the league, a -20. We looked at the Liberty earlier, and I think they were at a -9, which was like 30th, so they are like significantly turning the ball over. We should be on the lookout for that in our next game. You get a look at us. Our defense is first in the league. Offense, not so much. Although the rush game is in the top 50%, so there you go. But this is it. We play the Lions at home. Hopefully we can get some turnovers. And then the week after that, we play the big one against the DC Dynamo. We will be back next week with some Week 15 action. Once again, thank you for joining me. My name is Kasabe, and thanks for watching the Madden 06 rebrand featuring the Norfolk Defenders.